partner. How do you found when you're looking at investments? And does that give you a competitive edge when you're looking at investments on the continent?
Yeah, no, thank you, Azra. It's an interesting one where I think the best investors are entrepreneurial and the best entrepreneurs are investors. And so when I think about my journey as a founder, as an investor, it's about how do I take the best of both sides, because also they're the bad habits of both sides that come across with it. I think as an investor, so for example at Brigger, all of our partners and investment team members are former operators and founders. And so we have a deep level of empathy, understanding, and ability to partner with entrepreneurs when it comes to their journey. But something which I realized myself coming as a founder into investing is that founder, you always believe you can solve a problem. And so the biggest risk you have as an investor who's a founder is almost putting yourself in the shoes of the entrepreneur and not necessarily questioning the entrepreneur. I built this, yes, I can. And so you almost over-index on your experience executing versus the founder you're backing's experience. Pattern match and say, oh no, that's easy, we could solve that if I was CEO of this particular business, versus what is the founder presenting to you, and does that align with how you think about the business should grow? And I think that's something which you often need to counteract as VCs who have come from entrepreneurial backgrounds. Similarly, I think often, and it's true within the ecosystem globally, it's not necessarily Africa, is where often we like investing in people that look. So you look at the 8 unicorns, they're probably all male founders, studied abroad. And so the question is, us as VCs, how do we counteract that bias of investing in people that look like us, sound like us, have similar backgrounds? I think that can also be a concern from that perspective. But that being said, I think there are many benefits from the founder background because of the deep understanding of what it takes to build a business. Because whether you're building a big business or a small business, it's hard. And I think able to be a sparring partner with lived experience goes a long way. And so particularly for us at Brigham, we actually have a scaling squad internally where we actually have dedicated resources, a quarter of the firm, focusing on how can we help entrepreneurs, not only leveraging my experience as an entrepreneur or Heidi's experience or Tozin's experience, but almost collectively saying, how do you come around entrepreneurs? I think that gives us an edge. And we've seen that particularly in Europe, where we found that our graduation to Series A is 3 times the industry average. And we've done very well in our portfolios from a DPI and TVPI perspective in Europe. And the question is, how do we leverage that in the African context? But nevertheless, I do find that ultimately, people invest in people, people buy from people. And I think it's an empathy that entrepreneurial will give an investor in that process.
Thank you. Moshambi, reflecting on the last 5 years, what do you think are the key elements in your field that have disrupted tech, or within the ecosystem, what do you think has disrupted tech, or what has expedited tech on the continent, accelerated it?
Problems. I think that problems is the easy one. I think that tech at the end of the day is a tool. It's a human tool that we use to evolve and to enhance our lives. And so for me, the pure extent of the challenges that we have on this continent and even the opportunities, I think that's where tech is being used to scale and grow. I mean, there's so many slides earlier about different fields and entry points where that's growing the most. I think for me, where I'm most excited is in manufacturing, is in tech, of course, just based on my own background, but also where we're going from an energy space. And I think that in those 3 areas, if we can continue to leapfrog the way that we are right now and continue to go on the path, I think we're going to continue to see some amazing growth. Yeah.
Thank you. Ord, can I jump back to you? The Nigerian tech ecosystem is one of the most mature on the continent, and Francophone region, which you obviously focus on, is rapidly dominating the race to attract global venture capital. What is the Francophone